Spoilers! So first off, I want to talk about the Beast. The Beast is the final personality that James McAvoy turns into at the end of the film. The one that they were building up, which is a small twist in the film, just to say like, oh, yep, it's a real personality and it can do some of the things that people were saying throughout the film. He is based upon the different animals that Kevin sees in his job, which was a cool job, by the way. He's a zookeeper, so it made sense why he had cages in his basement. It's a take on those kinds of animals, and that was cool to see, and it was really, really menacing, and it looked like, you know, when he was the Beast, like his veins are popping out, and it looked visually cool until the Beast started trying to do some of the things he did. He starts climbing up a wall, which is in the trailer, which should not have been in the trailer. That's like a complete reveal of the fact that the Beast is real, which was stupid on the trailer maker's part. But he starts climbing up the wall, and it looks really goofy. It kind of took me out of the fact that this Beast is a menacing thing when you look at like the bad CGI kind of things of him climbing up a wall, and there's one part where he's climbing along tubes upside down and smashing the lights, which is a smart thing to do, you know, break the lights so he can't be seen, but it just looked really goofy. So that could have been explored upon and made better, but the Beast itself was good. The ending of this film was also a little bit of a letdown. M. Night Shyamalan has this really bad habit of making a fairly decent story and then getting to the end and going, oh yeah, by the end, it felt so rushed and it wasn't really a good conclusion to the whole story. The main girl's story just didn't have a conclusion, really. Throughout the film, you find out that she's been abused, sexually abused, since she was a little girl, and you know, it's made her broken and shy, which is why she was acting the way she did throughout the whole film. And that's great, like, well, it's not great, but that's a fun plot point and everything. But by the end of the film, when she's being rescued and she's being taken away by the police and the ambulance and everything, nothing happens. They don't even ask her how she got these random scars all over her body. She's only supposed to be like 16, and no one asks. No one cares. And then she just goes back to live with her uncle that's been sexually abusing her. And it's like, okay. I expected some kind of resolution of some kind, or at least a mention of it, but nope, it's just she had a bad day, now she's going to have a bad life. I honestly thought that the main girl, by the end of the film, was going to fracture herself and develop a split personality. That would have made her character and what she went through so much more interesting, and it would have helped fit her role in the film as a whole. So that way she would have a way to deal with the abuse that she was having. It would have tied her character in with McAvoy's character a lot more, because near the end of the film he keeps saying to her, you're like me, you're like me. But no, that didn't happen. I think if that had happened, it would have saved her character a lot for me. It can't be an M. Night Shyamalan film if you do not have the twist. This is perhaps the strangest, most left field twist I have ever seen in my life, in like any movie whatsoever. This twist has like literally nothing to do with the film itself. It's just thrown in there. So at the end, James McAvoy gets away from the authorities and everything, and he's running amok in the world now. Seeing as how he has those 24 different personalities and the different mannerisms, and the fact that he can now turn into the Beast mostly at will, he is a formidable foe to be reckoned with. So the news people decide to call him Horde. That's his nickname. So they decide to call him Horde, and it sort of pans away from the television, and you're in a diner, and one of the girls mentions something like, oh, there was a crazy person a while ago too, and as she moves back, Bruce Willis is sitting there wearing his David Dunn shirt from the movie Unbreakable, and he goes, oh yeah, there was a crazy guy like a couple years ago called Mr. Glass that they put away. I watched this scene and I was like, what? I didn't realize that Split was a pseudo-sequel to Unbreakable, a film released in 2000, M. Night Shyamalan's like second film as a filmmaker. Who knew? Some people had guessed it. I looked up online afterwards, but I found it extremely funny, and I had no idea that that was going to happen. It was a very interesting twist, but also one that I didn't see coming. Now, I guess in Split 2 or Unbreakable 2, it might be Bruce Willis versus James McAvoy. Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. But I also thought that a lot of people won't understand what happened at the end. I was fortunate because I have seen a lot of movies and I retain a lot of that useless information in my head, that I knew what that was about. Some of my friends were just watching the film going, "Huh?" because they had no idea. I think that this is going to be one of those things that people will Google after the film, learn that Bruce Willis was the guy from Unbreakable, and then they'll watch Unbreakable. This is pretty ingenious on M. Night Shyamalan's part to revive an old film and try and get it some more praise and some more watchability. That's a great idea, but wow, was this left field. Now I just hope that there's a payoff to this. I really hope I get to see Bruce Willis and James McAvoy duke it out. Otherwise, well, that was a pretty useless cameo. But yeah, that's the end of the spoilers. That's all I really wanted to talk about with this film. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about Split if you have seen it. I know it's just coming out about now. I got to see an advanced screening of the film, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, so tell me what you guys thought, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.